Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Sean Keenan. I am sitting in my parents' screen room and I just had a break from editing. I went for a dip in the pool, which was great. I'm editing this episode for the very first time on an iPad, which I've never done before. It's a bit of a learning curve. Same Final Cut Pro software, but very different on an iPad and on an iMac. But I hope I can stitch together an episode and something that you guys will enjoy. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, and if you enjoy this episode, maybe think about subscribing if you haven't already. Most of my content, well, all of my content is from Japan. I'm a Japan-based photographer and I'm just here for a short holiday. So without further ado, please enjoy the episode.
Rickett's Glen. This is arguably the best place for photography in the entire state of Pennsylvania, if not the East Coast. 24 waterfalls in a loop. What makes this an amazing place to come for photography is the sheer number of waterfalls. On this trail here, I think I'm going to hit 18 of the 24 waterfalls, and I think that's more than enough to capture at least one good image of a waterfall. Now, I have not had my share of waterfalls to photograph. I photographed a couple in Hokkaido, but nothing is going to compare to 18 waterfalls to shoot on this trip.
We went counterclockwise around the loop. If you go counterclockwise, you can take the Highland Trail at the end of your trip. It's the easiest trail and probably the best after a long day of hiking. 18 waterfalls on the loop, excluding the tail at the bottom. The tallest one, Ganoga Falls, is the fourth one in.
Waterfall number 1. I think this one's called Mohawk. This is a beautiful waterfall and it has so much going on. I love all this texture in the middle ground here, and the waterfall up there is flowing just enough to be beautiful across the entire face of the waterfall. What I've done though, I'm sure this waterfall has been photographed a million times. And so what I decided to do was not take in the grand scheme of the entire waterfall, but to focus on a small part. And there is a little plant growing right into the rocks there, and it separates beautifully. If I drop my camera down low, there is a nice dark region at the bottom of the waterfall that if I get it low enough, that plant sticks up just into that dark region. Now, because it is quite dark in here, it's an overcast day, I don't need to throw a filter on. So I have 17 more waterfalls to go. Shot number 1 in the can. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Here we got waterfall number 2, Oneida. I wasn't planning on taking a shot of the second one. I thought, you know, the first one I'd get the shot in the can, and then maybe 3, 4 down the line I'd take another photo. But this is quite picturesque. I have to take a shot. Putting my focus on there. I'm shooting full frame. 16:9 worked on the last shot, but this one I want a little bit of the rocks in the bottom of the frame. I'm trying to make sure I don't get a sapling that's on the right-hand side of the frame in the shot, but there is one that's kind of arcing over a little bit into the into the left side of the frame here, and there is a log that has fallen over at the top of the falls there, and I wanted to get low enough that I could get that not covered by the leaves of the tree in the, I guess, the mid-ground. Once again, I'm shooting about 1 second and f11. ISO is at 100, and it's a balance of showing a little bit of the rock in the bottom in the riverbed, some of the leaves up above, and the water cascading over the falls. Mosquitoes are coming out too. Let's see. Falls number 3, Ganoga Falls, 11 feet tall. And the next one is the 94 feet tall waterfall. So I'm gonna bypass this one and go to the next one. Number 3, if you're counting. Wow, this is spectacular. Already, it's only waterfall number 4, and I think this is one of the best hikes I've ever done. What a beautiful, beautiful place. Ganoga Falls, 94 feet, 28 meters tall. Spectacular in its beauty. I wish that I could shoot this in the autumn because this is spectacular. Now, what I need to do is figure out how I am going to shoot it now. So I'm going to roam around for a little bit. I might be here for a little while. The opportunities are endless. So do I want to focus in on a little bit closer detail of something, or do I want to get the grand scheme of the entire place? I'm not sure. So I'm going to roam around and find my angle, and I'll check back in with you soon. Started to rain now. It's nice summer rain in the forest. I can't complain. I just got to photograph a beautiful waterfall. Let me know what you think in the comments below. To my best guess, this is Mohon Falls, and it looks like there's 3 tiers to this falls. I think what I saw on the map was maybe about 30 feet, 31 feet. And I'm focusing, I mean, there's nothing spectacular about my composition here. It's just getting down low, being able to capture those 3 tiers. This log that's kind of leaning down on the falls here is a wonderful leading line up into the falls itself. Because again, it's an overcast day, I'm able to do a longer exposure without throwing on filters. And right now I've got it at, let's put my information on. a fifth of a second, f14, and ISO 250. Going for a shot. Oh wow, beautiful and sharp all the way to the background. And the water is beautiful, creamy, and the blacks are rich and deep and dark. I quite like this image. I'm probably going to crop that down to a 5x4 in post. Cut off a little bit of the excess over onto the right-hand side, a little bit of a dead zone. But there we go. I'll throw that up on the screen now. We're about halfway through the hike now, and we've hit 11 waterfalls, and I think we have 7 more on this path. We skipped 3. We saw one on the side that wasn't on the path. It was a little bit off the path, so maybe that's 12. Overall, we might see 19 waterfalls today. And it's about noon now. The number of people on the trail has doubled or tripled, but still, there's remarkably few people in such a spectacular, beautiful place. The parking lot was huge, so I'm guessing that there'll be quite a few people on a nice day. On we go to Renold Falls. And I think this might be a shot right here from this bridge. It's a beautiful falls with a very unique set of trees all around it. So I think I'm gonna try and set up a shot right here. There's no direct sunlight, which is great. So let me turn it around and show you what I see. Okay, this one here, I'm hiding under the bridge to get a very low angle shot of the waterfall up above. I've switched lenses to the 18x135 lens. It doesn't have the deep, rich saturation and the high dynamic range that the other lens has. But it does give me that spread that I really need. And it's quite a busy and complex scene, so I'm trying to narrow it down, all the distractions, and bring your eyes straight down to that cascade. Now, most of the waterfall, the base of the waterfall is completely obscure, and all we see is a trickle coming down at the bottom end of that waterfall. So I'm gonna play with this and see what I can find. Whoa, there we go. Quite dramatic, isn't it? We heard from another hiker that these 2 trees had just fallen down as he was walking past. So that was probably about an hour to 2 hours ago. And you can see I'm not sure if you can, it's steaming a bit. And it did just rain. I think it's still a bit of fresh wood in there that's steaming in the heat. So we are now, the one I just showed you there was another one of the Rickett's ones, I think JB Rickett. And the one that we passed right before that was Huron. So this is number 15 and 16. Correction, the one that we just saw was Huron, and this one is Shawnee. 15 and 16, I believe. Huron is 15, Shawnee is 16. And the next one is like a RL Ricketts or something like that. I have to admit, I'm having a little bit of waterfall fatigue. I've never seen so many waterfalls in such a short period of time. It's like going to Kyoto or Nara and, you know, you've seen 5, 6, 7, 8 ancient temples. The 6th and 7th and 8th are just a little bit, they lose their zest, I want to say. So let's keep going. We've got 3 more, I think, on this path, and then I'm gonna call it a day. I think I've gotten at least 4 or 5 images that I'm happy with. I say that now, but maybe it's only going to be 1 or 2 once we get it in front of my eyes on a computer. You never know. So yeah, let's keep going. Last waterfall of this adventure. This is Onondaga. I knew I was gonna mess it up. I looked at it like 4 or 5 times and then came back and then I forgot. Onondaga, I think it. Onondaga. I'll spell it down the bottom and you tell me what you think it sounds like. Onondaga. Anyway, this is the last waterfall. My last shot, just basically a straightforward image, long exposure. I think it was 0.3 of a second, and I think that's it. I think this is what I'm going to end on. It's been an extraordinary experience going on this hike. I have to say it's the most beautiful and the most awe-inspiring hike I think I've ever done with all of these waterfalls. Definitely by halfway through I had a bit of waterfall fatigue. So I don't know, maybe the best shots of the day are the ones that were from the very beginning of this trip. And I have to say with the light, it makes it a little bit more challenging to find an image that's a keeper. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this American adventure of mine. I'm heading back to Japan shortly, and maybe this will be up before I hit the ground in Japan. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.